Hello. What is your definition of happiness? Different people define the word happiness or define happiness differently. In this reading exercise, we are going to see how different people define happiness based on the kind of lifestyles that they live. We are going to read together and we shall not translate, definitely. We shall not translate, but we are going to try to understand. So we shall begin with the words down here. Wield. Wield, it means to exercise influence effectively. We are going to see these words used up here in our text. Representatives, typical examples of something. For example, we're gonna see examples. I will give you examples. In accordance with, in conformity with, or in relation to. We could add another word, in relation to. Autonomy, self-government, or independence. Turn one's back on. It means to abandon. Let's highlight this. It means to abandon or to ignore or to reject. So turn one's back on. Who knows? It's not possible to know at the moment. So this is a phrase that when you don't know if something is going to happen or not, you're going to say, for example, right now, while I'm shooting this video, there is a pandemic going on all over the world. So we may say when we are talking about this, the world is in a difficult situation. We don't know what's going to happen. And we should all prepare ourselves because who knows? Maybe we shall find ourselves in this situation. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the future? All right, so we are going to begin reading and we shall see these words and practice a little bit more about them. All right. So our topic is lifestyles. Lifestyles. Let's begin. People have different attitudes toward living. What is the meaning of attitudes? Attitude, it has different meanings according to the situation it's used in. For example, if you're talking to a friend and the friend is not responding, you say, hey, how are you at work? Hey, how are you? And they don't respond. They seem angry. You say, I don't know what's wrong with her. I tried to talk to her, but she gave me an attitude, meaning she gave me a cold look. She didn't respond to what I said. So she gave me an attitude, meaning she didn't respond in a friendly manner. Let's write that. So if somebody does not respond in a friendly way, then you can say, she gave me an attitude. I don't know what happened today. She has this weird attitude. Sometimes you can say it has this weird attitude because you don't understand what's happening. Like attitude, like the person is behaving differently. So you're going to say, what's wrong with the weird attitude? Are you okay? Is everything okay? All right, we continue. So people have different attitudes toward living. Here, the word attitude means different opinions, different feelings. So different feelings, meaning different attitudes, different attitudes, which means different feelings or different ideas. Let's see which kind of different attitudes the people have. People have different attitudes toward living. Some seek self-oriented happiness, Oriented, self-oriented, it means based on myself. If I say I'm goal-oriented, goal-oriented, it means I focus on the goal. If I have a goal, I'm going to try to achieve this goal. Sometimes when you go for a job interview, you may say, I'm a goal-oriented person. I focus on the goal. Here it's self-oriented. So some seek, it means look for. So some people look for self-oriented happiness. Some people look for happiness within themselves. They think if I focus on myself, I'm going to be happy. Let's continue reading. Some seek self-oriented happiness without any consideration for others. Consideration here in this text, it means thinking. So without thinking, without any thinking for others. So people without thinking about other people, they look into themselves and they say, I must find happiness inside me. To them, happiness means wielding political or economic power over others. So to them, here we could say, according to them, happiness means wielding. We saw wielding meaning exercising. So here, exercising political or economic power over others. It means if they have political power, they're going to force other people to do things. If they have economic strength or they have a lot of money, they're going to force other people to do things because they have economic strength or they're rich, basically, we can say. So to them, happiness means wielding political or economic power over others, meaning they're going to force people to do things even if they don't want to do them because they have money or they have political power. Let us continue. But most of these people turn out to be disappointed in their pursuit of happiness. There is a movie called Pursuit of Happiness. Pursue means to search for, to look for. So we could say, we have goal-oriented. Goal-oriented meaning focusing on the goal. Focusing on the goal. And then we have self-oriented. Focusing on oneself. All right, here we have another word, pursue. Pursue, it means to look for. Pursue, meaning to look for. So here we have, you can say, I'm pursuing my dreams. I'm looking for or working towards achieving. Yes, if I say I'm pursuing my dreams, I want to go abroad to pursue my dream career, to work on, to develop, work on something. But here they say, people turn out to be disappointed in their pursuit of happiness. So while they're looking for happiness, working on making themselves happy using political power and economic power, they get disappointed. So turn out. Here we have a very good phrase, turn out. Turn out. It says, but most of these people turn out to be disappointed. Turn out means in the end. In the end, all as a result, or finally. So we can use some of these synonyms to see how our sentence will be written. But most of these people, in the end, are disappointed in their pursuit of happiness. So in the end, most of these people, after they do these things, in the end, they're very disappointed in looking for happiness, in doing all these things to make themselves happy. Since man's desire is endless, nothing fully satisfies their needs. So endless, that's just, we know the meaning of end, something finishing. If it's a movie, end of the movie. But if we say endless, it means it never ends. So here it says since, or we could say because man's desire is endless, Man's desire never ends. The things we love, today I want to get, let's say, a cell phone. Tomorrow I will want to get a car. The next day I will want to get a house. The next day I will want to, so my desires will keep on increasing, or going to different places. So man's desire is endless. Nothing can fully satisfy their needs. All right, we continue. Other people believe that the first step to attaining happiness is to restrict personal desire. So some people believe happiness is self-oriented. Other people believe that first step to attaining happiness is to restrict personal desire. So restrict, it means you limit the personal desire. For example, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And you say, no, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to limit the things I desire. Attaining, getting, means to get something. So other people believe that the first step to getting happy or becoming happy, you can say, I attained a lot of things while working in this company, something like that. So first step to attaining happiness or getting happy, becoming happy, is to restrict, is to limit personal desire. Priests, monks, and nuns are the most common representatives. So representatives, it means the examples of this idea in this text. So most common representatives of this group. By refraining from worldly passion, they think that they are happy because they live their lives in accordance with religious commands. But can anyone without personal autonomy be genuinely happy? So here we have a few words in this paragraph. So priests, monks also work in the church, priests work in the church, nuns also work in the church. This is more of the Christian religion, all the Catholics. By refraining from worldly passion, refraining, it means you stay away from, you control yourself from getting something, attaining something, refraining from worldly passion. They think they are happy because they live their lives in accordance with religious commands. So in relation to, close to, so how do they live their life? In accordance. They live their life in a religious way, like the religion commands, we can say. But can anyone without personal autonomy be genuinely happy? That's a question they're asking us. We continue reading. A third group consists of very ordinary people. They have no great wealth or political authority. While they may have religious beliefs, they do not turn their backs on the world, but they treasure their families, they value the little things of everyday life, they are happy if they have 3 meals a day, a car, a home, a vacation, enough money to educate their children. So this doesn't have very many new words. Let's see, a third group consists. So consists, we can say a third group has ordinary people, very ordinary people, or a third group consists of. So consist, it means inside this group, there is. Consist, meaning have, all, there is. Ordinary people, normal people, they have no great wealth or political. Wealth is richness, a lot of material things, material possessions. They have no great wealth or political authority. Authority meaning, like, for example, who has authority? The police have authority. The president has authority. In schools, the teachers have authority. So who is in charge? Who makes the rules? So these people do not have political authority, not just any authority, but political authority, meaning the police, the government. These people have political authority. But the group we are talking about doesn't have political authority. While they may have religious beliefs, they do not turn their back on the world. We have a good phrase here, turn their back on the world. What's the meaning of turn your back onto something? Turn your back onto something or someone. It means you ignore or you don't interact with this person. For example, you may say, I turned my back on smoking, maybe, but generally it's used with people. My friends disappointed me when I needed them most. They all turned their back on me. So it means they abandoned me. They stopped listening to me or talking to me, or they didn't help me. So they turned their back on the world. All right, we continue. Where did we stop? Okay, on the world. But they treasure their families. Yes. So these people here, they say, while they may have religious beliefs, in the first paragraph, there are those people who have political authority, and it's all they use: political authority, economic authority. They use that. In the second category, they value religious beliefs and believe they should not indulge in earthly desires. That's the second group. The third group is in between, I think, because they're not very wealthy, they're not very rich, they don't have political authority, and they don't turn their back on the world, because in the second paragraph, they turn their back on earthly desires. We continue. They are happy if they have 3 meals. So these people, what do they value? They value everyday things, everyday meaning, the small things that happen in our daily life. So they value everyday things. For example, having 3 meals a day, which means breakfast, lunch, dinner, having a car, having a home, having a vacation, having enough money to educate their kids, to send their kids to school. That's all they want from the world. So which group of people is the happiest? Who knows? We don't know. If you think you're happy, then you are. Happiness is the result of how you think about the world and your place in it. So guys, what do you think? Who do you think is the happiest? The first group, the second, or the third? While you think about these and write, you can write something. For example, here we have, according to the essay, how many groups of lifestyles are there? So how many? You're going to write in detail. For example, according to the essay, there are 3 groups of people. The first group, you explain. The second group, blah, blah, blah. The third group, blah, 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 blah. We continue. What does the expression to turn one's back on the world mean? I just explained that. But you can explain it using your own words and also write an example. What is the definition of happiness? According to you, what is the definition of happiness? How would you describe happiness? And then we have extra questions here. You can screenshot these and either write essays about them, or you can record yourself speaking about these ideas. You can use some of the words we learned, practice the words, and let's look at some opinion samples. We are going to read just a few. For example, number 1, the quality of my life is worsening. I agree that material wealth grows as the economy expands, but I don't think money is everything in terms of a quality life. What are the really decisive factors? I think quality depends upon environmental concern, stress, crime rates, education, etc. Economic wealth comes after these. We all know our environment is becoming dirtier and crimes are on the rise. Everybody suffers from stress caused by a variety of sources, which shortens the life expectancy of our generation. Even material comfort might be a source of stress. The quality of life can't be measured by material wealth. I like this idea. Let's try to look at some words that might be new or some structures used here. The quality of my life is worsening, meaning it's becoming worse. Slowly by slowly, it's becoming worse. It's worsening. I agree that material wealth grows as the economy expands. But I don't think money is everything. Yeah, this person thinks in terms of a quality life. So if you're thinking of a quality life, it's not that money is everything. Money cannot solve all your problems. What are the really decisive factors? What are the really important things? Here, this is what they mean with decisive. What are the really decisive factors? What are the really important things we have to keep in mind? I think quality depends upon environmental concern, stress, crime rates, education, etc. So the quality of life that we have depends upon the worries we have towards the environment or the situations we are facing with environment. It depends on our stress levels. Do we have lots of stress? Do we have just minimum stress? Just a little bit of stress to force us to improve ourselves? How are the crime rates? Are they high? Are they low? Are we affected by this? When we turn on the TV, what do we see? Education, etc. Economic wealth comes after these. So after these have been solved, if these are okay in a country, then economic wealth is going to be on the rise. We all know our environment is becoming dirtier and crimes are on the rise, unfortunately. Everybody suffers from stress caused by a variety of sources, which shortens the life expectancy. Life expectancy meaning the age at which people die. For example, in the past, people used to live to 100, 150, maybe 200, I don't know. But now people die at a very young age. So it means the life expectancy has reduced. So the life expectancy of our generation, even material comfort, might be a source of stress. The quality of life can't be measured by material wealth. That was a very good one. So we have another one. I'm not going to read this. You can screenshot it and read through it. Try to understand what it means. And we can quickly look at these expressions. All right, so we have some good phrases we can use to express our ideas, or some good phrases we can use in life. Let's read and see. The world is full of people making a good living, but poor lives. Here they say making a good living, meaning earning some good amount of money, earning a lot of money, but their life is poor. So the world is full of people that have a lot of money. This is the phrase, this is what this phrase means. People making a good living, meaning people earning a lot of money, but living a poor life. You can tell us what you think about this. We continue. Death is not a period, but a comma in the story of life. That is interesting. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. Yeah, I think this is true. If you think life is horrible, sometimes you're going to focus on only the horrible and you will miss the good. You have to find a balance, not think life is amazing and then maybe it's not. So you gotta find a balance. Good and not ignore, acknowledge the bad too. And look for a silver lining. Look for the good. It has been said that life is a game, but how can we play it if we don't know where the goalposts are? Goalposts meaning we are playing football and trying to score a goal. So if we don't know where to score, how can we play the game? This is my idea on this number 4. Generally, I look at life as a game. There are different levels in our life, and every level is gonna require us to have different skills. For example, when you look at any game, kids' games, in the beginning, the person is weak and everything, but as they go to the next levels, they earn things or they earn points. So it's the same thing we have to do in life. I think we shouldn't play life and stay on just one game. Imagine playing a game that only has one level and you keep playing the same thing. After some time, you're going to be bored. But if you keep on going to the next level, it's scary, very scary. But you're going to get to the next level, and the scary bit, the missing skills, you're going to acquire those skills, and then you will be very good at that level. But then don't get comfortable in that level. This is advice to myself, actually. Moureen, don't get very comfortable in a level. You have to push forward into the next level and see what's there, what's missing. Because while you remain in the beginner's level, you don't know what you're missing. And even if you're winning, but there are other levels. So I advise you and advise myself to always attack and see what's next, what's next, what's next. And in the end, life becomes a little bit more exciting because you're always working on a challenge. Let's continue. Some people treat life like a slot machine, putting in as little as possible while hoping for the jackpot. This is interesting. Jackpot meaning hoping to win a lot of money. So in a slot machine, you generally put something and you win something. It's like you go to the cinema and there is that machine where you put one coin and you get a doll, maybe a bear. So people put in one coin and they want to get something very big. Life is not like that. You gotta put in much, a lot more, unfortunately. A long life is a gift of God. A full and fruitful life is your own doing. Yeah. Oh, I love this. We continue. After all, life is really simple. We ourselves create the circumstances that complicate it. Hmm. Hmm. This is interesting too. Circumstances meaning the situations. We create the problems. Maybe not, maybe yes. What do you think? The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. Yeah, this is very scary. Being alive and yet being dead inside. Every day when you wake up, you feel like, no, no. That is really a tragedy. Let's continue. People who are afraid of death are usually afraid of life. Oh, interesting. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. I love this. So if you want to have a great life, you gotta give and give and give and give and give. This is true, actually. Generally, when I do something as a volunteer, it makes me super happy. Anyways, this is the end of our topic. Hope you learned something. Hope it was great. Goodbye. Take care of yourselves.